Welcome to day 3 of Tagbaxmas, the month of Tagback, where we take a look at blasters from the past to see what they can offer us today in the present. And this time, you might have forgot this one existed, because I tend to forget this one existed, even though I think it's a pretty cool blaster, but I don't think I've ever covered it on this channel, because who in their right minds in 2016 is going to spend money on a NERF Bow? Yeah, bows in the NERF ecosystem, even though that's kind of how everything got started in the foam flinging community. I mean, you got big foam balls and big foam arrows, but they're honestly not a well-loved thing. It's a very niche aspect, and then Rebel kind of drove it into the ground, because Rebel was like, let's take everything and make it a bow. Girls like bows, and that's what we're gonna do. But the 2016 NERF ELITE Stratobow is, still better than anything really Hasbro has been making for the last 2 years. Yeah, if you haven't seen this thing before, I don't blame you, because I looked online and nobody talks about this thing. Barely anybody's even attempted to modify this thing, and it pretty much came out, people did videos, and then it was promptly forgotten, and you could find them at Goodwill like this one was a little over a year ago for $6. I don't know why I bought this one a year ago, probably because it was a Stratobow for $6, and you can actually make it so you can remove these clips and reload clips from other Stratobows if you want. Let's see what the NERF Wiki has to say. The Stratobow is a NERF blaster that was released in the fall of 2016 under the N-Strike Elite series. It comes packaged with 15 darts, and that's because it has a 15 dart clip on the front of it. As its name suggests, the Stratobow is a bow action blaster. It features a vertical integrated indexing clip that holds up to 15 darts at a time. It does not feature any tactical rails. One strap point is built into each of the bow arms. Is that what those holes are supposed to be? The ones that have to go around those massive bow? Okay, sure, why not? It advertises a firing range of up to 85 feet, 26 meters. There's like practically no way. The way that they tend to say that these things hit that distance is usually because elite darts are absolutely horrible, and they'll curve in random directions when they're flying through the air. So if that elite dart happens to like spike upwards, then it can carry itself a little bit farther than normal, and thus the 85 feet mark, even though, again, you're never gonna hit anything you're aiming at with that. The official description: take aim with a real bow action of the high-capacity Stratobow dart-firing bow. This NERF N-Strike bow has an integrated 15 dart clip that automatically indexes to the next darts. Fire 15 dots in a row without reloading and send them blasting through the air up to 85 feet. Pull the string back and release it to unleash a dart. The indexing clip will automatically ready the next dart for firing. Comes with 15 elite darts. Deliver a message of domination with the high-capacity N-Strike Stratobow from NERF. That'll get you hyped. That's some good marketing lingo right there. I like that. Your lives used to be filled with so much honey. So obviously, like, foam flinging is fun. That's kind of why we do it. And for some people, the fun is driving a foam dart through drywall. But this is stock NERF, and really, I don't think the Stratobow got the love it deserved, because this is a really cool looking blaster. It's relatively compact for a bow thing, although the bow arms on this are completely useless. The actual mechanism is in the grip right here, which is extremely comfortable, I might add. You see, when you pull back this string, it's actually actuating by this little wheel right here, and that's pulling down a plunger rod with a spring and stuff behind it, much like a typical NERF blaster without the catch. So there's no trigger, you're just pulling back and releasing, and the way you need to release this is by kind of sliding your fingers off the string. That's why they move the way they do. They're rounded to make sure that's what you do, because if you try to just like let it go like it's gonna get caught. It might interrupt the free flowing of the plunger traveling forward, which would limit your airflow and make the dart not go as far. So you can fire this thing like this or like this, however you prefer, and it does automatically index this clip upwards. I don't have fresh elite darts on standby because elite darts are the devil, but with these Adventure Force waffles, I can just pull this back and then just slide my fingers off the string, and I get that realistic bow action. Same thing if I were to do that, it still fires the dart, and it fires it pretty well. And the cool part is, if you really wanted to, is that it's really easy to kind of like rapid fire this thing, although with this specific one, it's skipping shots. And if you notice, the clip is traveling upward. It's pretty good about staying in place. I can't get it to slip at all. So you can kind of like marksman with it. Or if you need to, you can rapid fire stuff off with it, but again, it tends to skip darts when I do that for some reason. Yeah, this thing isn't gonna set the world on fire, and quite frankly, that's why nobody has cared about it since it released. Some of you may even have a Stratobow, and Haven't ever picked it up since it came out, because who really cares about the NERF Stratobow? Well, the reason why I picked up this thing is because a good friend of mine wasn't really a nerfer. He was more into like the foam sword combat stuff, and he loved this blaster more than anything. This was like the first thing he wanted me to modify for him because it just fit the kind of playstyle that he has. He likes to run and jump around and just spray darts without having to worry about pumps or triggers or anything like that. And when your trigger is literally this big and you can grab it from anywhere, yeah, you can see why that would be fun. Plus, it's a bow and it looks honestly pretty cool. So modifying this thing isn't exactly impossible. Your whole plunger system is down here and then it just redirects the airflow into the back of this clip. The barrels on the clip only seal pretty much down here at the base of the dart. If there was more of a barrel, the darts could use more of the air pressure to build up velocity before it exits the whole thing, and that would increase your performance. Same thing with increasing a spring load, although the problem with increasing the spring load is that it's also going to make this more difficult to use, and this string is not even a shoelace. It would probably snap, and really, the whole fun is you don't want this to be too hard to pull back. But of all the blasters that function kind of like this throughout Rebel and all the other stuff Nerf has made, the Stratobow is kind of still the best. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could cut a lot of these bow arms and extra stuff off and have some other kind of pulley system, but the design it has out of the box is already pretty freaking fun. I mean, again, it's not going to set your world on fire, but it might be something you didn't know existed that you might want now. Of course, with a lot of these things, with how fast this hobby and community moves, it's kind of useless nowadays. I mean, why would you go on Amazon and spend $60 to get one of these brand new? And if you try to buy it secondhand, shipping can be kind of insane when you can go buy something that hits 3 times as hard for half the price. That's a big problem, but the answer to that is fun. The Stratobow is fun. It has some mod potential if you want to give it the love it deserves. Honestly, I think just removing the dart pegs out of this, rebarreling it, and then putting like 2 short darts in each chamber so you can have like a bow shotgun thing, I think that would be kind of cool. But maybe there's something I'm missing. Let me know what you think about the Stratobow down in the comments section below. Do you have this? Have you never heard of it before? Do you love it? Do you hate it? All interesting questions, because I'm like one of the only people that has talked about this recently. But that's all I've got for you. I'm Walcom S7. Thank you very much for joining me for the month of Tagbaxmas. Again, there will be another video tomorrow and throughout the entire month of December, covering all sorts of foam dart flingers, and some that don't fling foam, and some that are just plain wacky. And hey, if you got to the end, you might like what I do here, so please hit like, hit subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, do all that algorithmic garbage to help our channel grow so you can help our hobby grow. And of course, I hope to see you tomorrow for an entirely different video.